Alright, so we are going to be live with some Palworld. Getting pretty close to finishing the game. Was hoping to try and figure out how to stream on Twitch simultaneously, before we could get started, but it looks like it's a little bit more setting up than I had thought. I need to download plugins and stuff, and so maybe I need to get a little bit of help with this, but I am planning on trying to start streaming on both platforms simultaneously, now that the platforms allow it. So that's just kind of a little bit of news, I suppose, at the start, but let's get into the game. We're almost on day 200 here, and hopefully we will be kind of finishing up the game, as it were. This might be part 1 and part 2. I'm not sure. Well, I'm pretty sure we could take out the final boss at the very least, and so the question is, can we catch the remaining pals? And I'm not sure the answer to this question. Will we hit level 50? I don't know. But I think we have enough. Well, so the thing is, or actually I meant to move my camera as well. That way you could see how much ammo and stuff we have. But was meaning to, that doesn't block anything important. No, it doesn't look like it. Was meaning to, let's check how much ammo we have. So I think we're going to need about 400 shotgun ammo. Something to that effect, and so I think our limiting thing is sulfur, and so we will have to do a little bit of housekeeping here at the start. And now we gotta go grab some sulfur, and we don't have a bunch of mines set up because we were figuring we would finish the game before, or the amount of time it takes to finish the game, it wouldn't make sense to build the mines. You know, because if it takes 10 hours to build a mine, well, it won't take 10 hours, but if it takes a few hours to build a mine, and we could have been progressing in that same few hours, then it makes more sense to progress instead, right? And so that's kind of the way I was thinking about things, and so, okay. But I do want to, I'm pretty keen on trying to figure out how to stream on Twitch as well now, so, especially before the charity stream on the 24th. This would be really nice if we could get it in before then. And so that will hopefully be something we can do. And maybe we even want to try and push for the next level before. We would have to find a mon that we haven't caught in a bit. But this is maybe going to be something worth it. And by mon, I of course mean pal. No copyright intended. Except it is what it is. I mean, I'm curious to see if anything comes from that. Because I don't think it's copyright infringement, but boy, is it riding the line. So, but we will see what's up. Alright, let's go back and get some gunpowder cooking. Because I think after we cook all this gunpowder, we might have enough to do the things. 65. Oh, we don't have enough charcoal? Yikes. Awkward. Thought we'd produce tons of charcoal. So we'll produce a bit more. I kind of was really hoping to get the thing going for Twitch, though. I don't know, maybe we'll end early and focus on the Twitch thing. Because that's actually more of a priority for me than, like, getting this Palworld thing done. I suppose at the very least we will try and go after the boss, because I think that that's going to be the faster of the two. So we'll do that. So that's going to be another 100 ammo. I suppose we could go buy some ammo as well. Wow, these guys are cooking charcoal, that is. I think we'll just cancel this and make the rest of the gunpowder that we can, because we do have a weapons manufacturer over here. Oh, and we had already cooked up some shotgun shells. Yeah, I think this is starting to look good. I think well, maybe we'll gain level 49 first, and we'll see if we can capture those bosses. So maybe we start there, actually. That is these guys up here, Palladius and the other boyo. Necronius, or however it's pronounced. Will you have the honor of being the first message in chat? You do have such an honor. Don't mind if you do. Yep, yep, yep. It's the good times. Alright, but for the boss, I think we're going to need to put in damage amulets. I do like the defense pendants for fighting these guys. But yeah, hopefully we can dust up the game a little bit here. I do want to check. I should probably almost certainly be trying to gain some XP on the way. Mainly on the basis of, do I have the cooldown for the things? This mon's so weird because it's like flying and not flying. Like behaves in two ways simultaneously. Have I seen James Burke's Connection series? I don't think so. Oh. Went the wrong way. Still not very used to using this mon. Oh, that did a good amount of damage. Did I just whiff it? I just did. Oh my god. He hit me into the air, so I whiffed it. I'm just gonna dismount and let Frost Stallion take care of him. She should be able to aim even if we can't. Alright, well, close enough. Go. Alright, back and onward to the boss. What's the Connection series about, though? Is this for Palworld? Or is this something else? We will pick this up. We're not completely complete on the Lift Monks. Okay, so there's these two. I assume... Okay, so they have significantly less health. Let's see what we have in terms of balls. Because I think we have like 50... Oh, we only have 30 legendary spheres. That's actually less than ideal. Mathematically, I think we should not be able to capture them, but math is often not mathing. Let's try and aggro one of these from far away, with the hope that we want to aggro just the one and then pull them. Nice. Well, I mean, we could do this little dance of back and forth. I think either way, we are not going to want a Crystal Wing. We are not going to want Crystal Wing. So let's do Crystal Missile or whatever. Not really seeing that do anything, actually. That was one issue we had before. Wasn't even sure that it did anything. Yeah, so maybe switch out for the breath. Just a very, very scared of the fact that there's two of them. So. But I guess we'll see their moveset and we'll see what's up. This feels like that did a lot of... Oh, they hurt each other. They don't have immunity from each other. Okay. Well, that's stupid. So we just gotta try and stand in between the two of them at all times. Wow, they de-aggro so weirdly. I mean... let's get our balls ready, I suppose. We'll try and have Palladius in front now. Oh, Hungry's not good. We're gonna hop off and switch to someone else. That way they will auto-eat some bread. We're really trying to conserve the ammo here too, because the ammo is like a pretty big deal for the other fight. Alright, Jet Dragon should be able to get something done. Frostallion's still healing up a little. Just kind of checking the numbers there. Alright, let's go Frostallion and hop on and continue doing what we were doing. Now that she's had a meal. Ouch. That hurt a lot. Maybe we de-aggro here? Make sure everyone's eaten. Yeah. Looks like it hasn't reset the health. Really trying to want them to hit each other here. So this one might hit. Oh, maybe they don't hit each other. It's kind of what we thought was the case. We're gonna wait for our shield to come back before we re-aggro. A little cheeky cheese. Suppose we'll get Frostallion topped off here. It's a little bit annoying that they will not eat, they will not eat while you're riding them. I probably could have hit both with that. Ouchie. I guess maybe we're supposed to focus Necronius as best we can now, because he's significantly lower. We still have a heal from Lylene, so we can play a little bit aggressively. Looks like someone aggroed the dig toys. Lylene's used most of her better abilities, so we'll swap to Jormuntide here. That hurts. I don't think we're going to use the Lylene heal yet, though. Waiting on Jormuntide to use his big ability. Maybe he just doesn't feel like it. Alright, we'll save him some damage from that move. Alright, we'll swap Jet Dragon here. I'm gonna try and keep Frostallion a little healthy. Kind of reaching the point where maybe we just use our own ammo. Kind of hurts. Just like the truth. Alright, let's... Yeah. Oh, that's really not doing a whole lot. Maybe we need a little bit of a different strategy. I think we gotta cheese it. Alright. We're gonna run off, de-aggro him. Think that's on target? Yeah. Alright. So let's check the life count. Okay, so we got Jormuntide KO'd. Not ideal. I mean, we could just wait for our super big cooldown. I'm not sure how we're supposed to handle this. I mean, we could just keep doing this and then just dipping out of the aggro range on cooldown. I think I probably actually kind of like that. Scientific advancements, what he talks about. Interesting. Where the hell did they go? Interesting. I think they've been de-aggroed. They have. I really wish we could ride the Jet Dragon, but we don't have the saddle, and the saddle unlocks at level 50, so kind of moot point. So we'll keep just doing aggro cheese, I guess. Which is pretty cheeky, but I think is just kind of the most straightforward way to do it without like burning a ton of ammo. And the ammo wasn't even doing very much damage. Or the shotgun. It's generalist in perspective. Some general science stuff. Hey Cantaloupe, how's it going? It is going pretty good. We're kind of cheesing this one. Just by de-aggroing repeatedly the bosses at this point. I think fighting them the super straightforward way is just not quite it. I suppose we could have tried to think of which one we'd rather catch of the two and try and catch that one, obviously, because we only have 30 balls. But yeah, I think in theory they should just go back up to full life when you de-aggro them. That'll hit both. Or not. I mean, we could take a crack at like trying to fight him normal. Well, we kind of already have. I suppose our Frost Stallion's now healed quite a bit. So we could try and do some of this. Save her some damage. Switch Lylene. That's gonna kind of hurt. We want Lylene to use the seed thing. She's got one more ability in her rotation. There it is. Oh, we have to wait for it to land. Lame. Yeah, I think we'll just swap around, like, between using conventional fighting and not. Minus using the bullets because we need the ammo. Although maybe the amount of time it takes to farm the ammo is less than the amount of time it's taking us extra on the boss by playing it like this. So... really feels like it does like no damage to these guys though. Like one attack does, oh my god, we don't want Eileen to die. Yeah, the only one that feels like it does damage other than the Frost Stallion is the Jet Dragon. Oh wow, just got one shot. Is Jet Dragon even out? What the hell? Oh, we got stuck in an animation. Jet Dragon was not in fact out though. I mean, he's doing a lot of damage here. And they reset. So yeah, resetting might be... Well, that guy's taking so much damage from the burn, man. It's a shame we can't ride Jet Dragon and keep doing this repeated resetting with him. That'd be a lot better, I think. Oh, are we gonna hit? We do. Just discovered it has 3 seasons instead of 5 episodes. It's always nice when it has no, they reset completely. Okay, so not sure we have enough damage for these guys. Maybe we're supposed to just start throwing balls once they're half-life. I mean, at this point we should go and heal our Jormuntide, I think. Oh, this is tragic. Isn't there more powerful weapons you can make at this point? Seems like your current stock is kind of underpowered. No, this is the best we can do right now. It's a legendary. The pump does more damage than the assault rifle. And we need level 50 to get the rocket launcher. Or next level, 49. And even then, this is going to cost a lot of cheddar to cook up. We could power up our pals. We were breeding a lot of Frost Stallions. So maybe that's what this takes, but that's a pretty far off thing. You know, in terms of getting all that going. I don't even think we attacked it. I think we just ran over it. That's funny. That's kind of rough, though. I guess maybe it has to do with the turning of the day. It's nice that these guys have shotgun shells, though. We would also do more damage with higher level Pokemon. So this is, like, if we gain a level, then the Frost Stallion's not capped at 48. The Frost Stallion would be 49. Why is the screen yellow? Because we built the lamp like an idiot, I think. So now we have the lantern attached to our hip, and it's just always on. kind of, I'd advise not using the lantern. It lights the way, which that part's kind of nice, so you don't need a torch anymore, but it's also kind of mildly obnoxious. But we were cooking up some Frostallions. We have several Frostallions. We were trying to get Frostallions with better traits. Because we went and we caught one. And that's what we were doing. I think we still have the two we were breeding. Which both have Legend and Ice Emperor. Our limiting factor was lack of cake, but we have cake now. So let's take a nap and just kind of rethink. Man, I was really hoping... Well, I think at the very least we can go and fight the boss. So there's that. I think we need at least 400 ammo, and we would be a lot safer with 500. So, and then I kind of do want to return to the drawing board on seeing if we can make the things work in terms of streaming on both Twitch and this. So let's see. Oh, we got some assault rifle ammo. Pog. So it's not going to be a ton of ingots. We also could use a few more spheres, I think. It's not quite what we were looking for, but I suppose it's what we deserve. And then we get both the Frostallions. We, in theory, would prefer a smaller Frostallion. I don't think this is going to be too useful for what we're doing, but we're just going to do it anyways. Just we want to try and get a Frostallion with some actual good traits other than the two that they start with. And so this game looks super janky. It is a bit janky. The premise is the fun part. They need cake, which is that Pokemon with violence. We have a Gat. I didn't get to play Gat. I didn't get to shoot Pokemon in Red and Blue. For example. Did we fill up our water jug? No, we didn't. This is tragic. Okay, so the strategy, which we should think about for fighting these guys, is we want damage equipment, and I think we have, I think we got 2 attack pendant +1s. So I think this is going to be how we fight the final boss, because our problem with the final boss was not that we couldn't fight him. Our problem was, and maybe we just have to sack up and do the fight and not just de-aggro and play it the way... I know this Carbonara, can't remember if it gives extra attack or defense. I suppose if we look in here, we look at what the Carbonara does, except for, no, I think it's an advanced recipe. And this doesn't do anything extra. Can't wait for the Oppenheimer update with the B-29 quad engine pals being able to drop the atomic Hadouken. Dude, let me have it. Take my money. Alright, so we have 450 ammo. I think that we make more charcoal too here. Maybe we just do max charcoal. Do we have a wood chop is the question. We do have a wood chop, so we're not expecting to like run out of wood, so let's just do like 1,000. And then we have some money. But we do kind of want to sell off some of these schematics that aren't very good. The stuff that's like not unique or particularly high level. I think we could just repair our rare crossbow. We don't need the handgun schematic. It's not very rare. We're not gonna use that cold resistant metal armor. Probably not gonna use the grappling gun. So let's go to a shop. And we'll buy some ammo, and we'll at least try and get the final boss done. I mean, maybe there's a way. Oh, we can't get the final. We have to wait 10 minutes to get the final boss done. Herpa we don't have our team. 2 of them died. Don't have the team. It's a pretty good reason to not start the fight, huh? I think this guy is the one with the ammo. It's basically all of our money. No more cake for us. We're out of our cake money. Can't get caked up without the cake. The truth hurts. Oh, what a world. What a world. We're cakeless. So what to do in the meantime here? Well, we could go after some mons and just look to take them out just for XP. I mean, maybe this is solid enough. We could go after Blazamid. I think Blazamid has one of the really good rare drops, but Blazamid's going to take forever to kill, and we would want to use Jormuntide for that, and we don't have Jormuntide right now. This is the one last tower we have to complete. Let's go after the King Pocket Christ. How did you start narrating your every thought, every decision and action while streaming? What's the process of remembering when you stream as opposed to those happening things that happen internally while playing solo? You know what's interesting is it doesn't necessarily happen when you're playing solo. Like, the talking out loud will make you actually also play differently, but to some degree it's just from making videos, right? And I just get used to it and like this type of thing. So like you get into it by doing it, and it becomes more automatic. But to another degree, we actually developed a skill a little bit while playing poker because talking through your actions makes you less likely to do something stupid, you know, it's with poker specifically, it's kind of easy to trick yourself into thinking something's true when it's not true, because there's a lot of confirmation bias, and like you don't want to fold when you should, and it can be rough, especially when. So poker is an interesting game in that with poker, something can be the wrong action 80% of the time, but you're still supposed to do it just because of odds calculations. You know, if the risk to return is like worth it, and that's not something like the human brain is very good at handling. So talking your way through those types of spots can be very useful for not making that type of mistake. And so to some degree I talk my way through my thought process while playing single player, while playing poker specifically. But then, like, I also play games differently when I'm, like, playing single player than when I'm talking through my actions, because, like, generally your actions tend to be a little bit more precise. Like, I RP way harder when playing EU4 than I have, like, playing Vic 3, because, like, I'm doing this because I feel like it. Feels like a really bad justification, so I don't really do stuff because I'm feeling like it very often when playing, like, Victoria 3. Where's the King Pocket Christ? I didn't see it. Over there? How's it over there? Yeah, sometimes equity demands a seemingly stupid decision. Yeah, it's... Or, well, like, a painful decision, because you don't like engaging in the action that you think you're going to get punished for, but it's just, you get punished a little bit, but, like, that's not how your brain sees it, which is actually just, like... Poker is just such an interesting game. But I can't find the King Pocket Crest. Rip. I think we're done picking up eggs that are not higher level. I'm gonna see what the timer is on the guys. It's a cool tip. I may use it when you ever get into online poker, because the main thing why I don't is because I'm pretty bad at it. I think the ROI of poker, like in terms of learning it, is like really bad. Like the amount of time it takes to get really good at poker, you can make a lot more money doing something other than playing poker. At least now. Like this wasn't the case back in the day, but there's so many killers, and like people who aren't very good still play pretty good. Unless you're planning on playing live, that's a different thing, but people on online are just like killers. Just like people play like micro, like spots in this like uber micros like pretty tight, or like pretty correct, relative to like someone who knows nothing about poker. So we need gunpowder. Oh yeah, that's right. Why we came back was to check our pals, because I think time passes differently in the TVA. Okay, so if we do the battle, we can do it with 2 +1 attack pendants, which will help us out. We have this. We have between 600 and 700 ammo. Maybe we make one more trip to make ammo, and then we go for the boss fight. We can level stuff up. The main thing you struggle at in poker is seeing bluffs and constructing a narrative of my own bluffs, or just losing my stream after an amount of steam after a amount of bad hands. Are you familiar with like game theory in poker, or like where are you at in terms of poker theory? I remember my initial content, like my very first video on here is actually like poker. It was like a poker... It's not even a tutorial, it's just me like working through stuff. You don't care for making money on poker? The fact that it is exhilarating, however, you only play... that high only comes from playing way too aggressively than you should. Yeah, you can't, like... Well, I mean, you can understand what spots you like can be over-aggressive in, but the problem is people who aren't very good don't like to fold. And so, like, if you're playing against people that aren't very good, like, usually just being kind of disciplined is good, because people get way too sticky on hands when they're not very good. Like, as a general heuristic, being overly aggressive is not... and then when they like start understanding what's going on, then being really aggressive can be good, but like if they're like really not very good, like complete noobs tend to be way too sticky with their hands. Or they tend to like view their hand strength in like a more binary way, which is they either like their hand or they don't like their hand. Which is like like in poker, you like your hand. You should like... A better way to think about it, although this isn't like necessarily the be-all end-all way of thinking about it, is you like your hand for a certain number of bets. And so I might like this hand if I have to put one bet in the pot, but if I have to put two bets in the pot, suddenly this hand's now a bluff catcher. Like, it goes from value bet to like bluff catcher, depending on how many bets have been put in the middle. Which, since newer people don't update that, then that means like repeated aggression on streets is not useful. And so generally you should like, people also undercall with really marginal hands sometimes when they're not very good. And so that means like you should do a lot of like betting once and then kind of giving up on your bluffs against people who aren't very good. And also, even if someone understands like position, you'll notice with a lot of people who aren't very good is they'll, if you're in position and you don't bet and they have a good hand, they'll always bet like 100% of the time. So you could delay a c-bet a lot. And so you just check back a whole bunch of hands that are pretty marginal. And then if they don't bet, then you bluff and get value from your marginal hands. And then your marginal hands can call like 1 to 2 streets or something. Otherwise. Alright, so that's going to be some ammo for us. And then I think we're going to go for it. Zero poker theory. Yeah, poker is incredibly complicated in terms of like trying to play like correctly, because you have to evaluate everything in ranges. Like instead of thinking about bluffs, like the way to think about it is when something happens in poker, or let's say you are in you're on the button and then you open up for like 2.5x pot and you're opening like 30% of your hands from that position, and then your opponent from the small blind calls. Then the way you like should be thinking about it is in terms of ranges. And so what should happen is when the next street comes, they check to you, which they most often will, right? You now have a number of possible hands, which is 30% of your hands, right? Because you opened with 30%. And of that 30%, you have a certain number of value hands, right? That connect really hard. And what you want to do is you actually want to have an amount of bets, or have an amount of bluffs that's proportional to your value hands. And you can bluff more on earlier streets. And so it's a matter of thinking, of the 30% hands, maybe I want to bet 10% of these. Maybe a third of those are going to be value bets. And so then that means that you want to think of which 6% of hands, of all the hands possible, are going to be the best ones for me to bluff with here. And then you bluff with those hands. So you're thinking of it in an entire range, not how do I play this hand. It's how do I play every possible hand that I could have in this position. Which is a little bit abstract if you haven't done it before. Playing cash with friends is the majority of your experience, yeah. The crowd you sometimes play with are pretty good, generally speaking. They play daily and go to tournaments often. What's a value bet? So a value bet is when you are betting with a hand that is going to have a lot of showdown value with the intention of getting your... It's like the opposite of a bluff. Although it's often when you value bet, you are super okay with your opponent folding, which is like something that's a little bit more complicated. So it's not necessarily the case that you want them to call, but you're betting because your hand is strong when it's a value bet. But also, like, you bet with draws. Your draws aren't strong right now, but they have an overall EV that's, like, good, right? And that's what a lot of your bluffs are like, drawing hands, just because you can't bluff with every hand. And so, calling something... Yeah, the idea is if you make a value bet, you're trying to get called, and if you make a bluff, you want your opponent to fold. That's like the oversimplified version. But, like, the part of the way you construct your bluffs is you try to have plenty of bluffs that are going to have value even when they get called. And so you're going to have, like, flush draws and straight draws in your bluffing range. And so those don't, like... those actually have like an expected value that's like non-zero. Like you win the hands a decent, or you win the game, or you win the hand rather, a decent chunk of the time with these hands. Just kind of quickly going over things. I think we're gonna do this. The 2 attack pendants in. So randomly, I should choose a hand. Choose a hand which I play, excluding some raises a lot pre-flop. No, it's not that you want 30% random hands from the button. It's you have decided the exact 30% of all hands possible in poker you are going to play from that position. And also some hands you will play half the time and a quarter of the time, and you play it for coverage reasons. And so, like if you're in middle position, you will sometimes play with like suited one gappers, which like 20% of the time, and you're not playing because the suited one gapper is particularly good, but because that makes your range less vulnerable. Like if you only play suited connectors, then your opponents can exploit you pretty easy. Then if you play some amount of suited one gappers, but you should only play like 20% of the time or something like this as a strategy. Alright, I think we got enough damage to get this guy down. We're gonna have to focus up though. Where'd he go? Ouch. Okay, last time we had the defense item, and now we are struggling a little bit to dodge his stuff. I mean, in theory, we also want to use Astiga on some. But the thing I was trying to describe earlier is, like, you don't think of things in terms of individual hands in poker. You think of the entirety of your range. Are we on pace? Like, barely. Jesus. I have to do less dodging, more DPSing. Oh, this is gonna be so close. Maybe I just have to try and keep Jet Dragon out more? I don't know. This isn't gonna work. Fuck, man. Unless I just, like, clutch up. Let's try to keeping Jet Dragon out kind of as much as we can. And we're so close, but I just think we can't do it. We also can't heal because Eileen's down. Oh, it's so obnoxious. We're so close. I hate how that goes through the freaking pillar, man. With poor game design. Dormantide's being an idiot and getting stuck on the wall. Jet Dragon's taking a lot of damage. Alright, well that ends our misery. Shoot, man. I guess we just have to grind level 49, huh? This seems just like, both of these things seem just like a little bit too hard. It's frustrating. What's even more frustrating is if I was mechanically better, I know I would be able to do that. Like, if we could stay close better while not getting hit, we would be able to do that, because one of the problems is... Are we gonna die here? Yeah, we are. It wasn't just a little cold outside, it was very cold outside. Are you gonna do a speedrun in RimWorld where you build a poker table? Probably not. I haven't even tried RimWorld, so the notion that I could speedrun it is dubious at best. We'll let some of our... Well, actually, we'll take a nap so it's daytime. And then once it's daytime... I don't think we need anywhere near the amount of shotgun bullets we thought, though. So I don't even think we went through that many. But yeah, I think we definitely need level 49 to make this work. Which sucks. What's the difference between opponent's strong bluff and a good hand? How would it be possible to distinguish the two? Well, the idea is... sometimes you can't distinguish between when your opponent's bluffing and when they are value betting, but you can construct a range with which they should be value betting or bluffing and determine what would be going on. Like, if your opponent has bottom pair and a flush draw, they probably shouldn't be bluffing with that, because that doesn't make very much sense as a bluff. But like, this is a matter of knowing like what makes sense on good to make a good bluff. But like, if your opponents are like decently solid, they probably shouldn't give off too many tells, which is kind of I think what you're looking for. Yikes, we're gonna need to repair that. Like some kind of way of knowing if your opponent is bluffing or value betting, which like if your opponents are somewhat good, you shouldn't be able to tell. And instead you have to just like play with ranges in such a way that, you know, it makes it hard for your opponent to like blast you. Like, so for example, one thing you can do is you can protect your range. So let's say the flop comes ace 7 deuce rainbow, so like 8 of hearts, or sorry, ace of hearts, 7 of spades, deuce of clubs, or whatever. So there's no flush draws. If you have 3 of a kind in that spot, it would make a lot of sense to actually not bet 3 of a kind, and instead check it. Depending on if you're like, well, actually you should. On those types of boards I like to bet really small, but with like almost all my range, but that's like a different thing. But the idea is, if you have 3 of a kind and you're sometimes checking it, especially 2 aces. So on that type of board, if you have 2 aces, that makes it really unlikely for your opponent to have an ace. So that's really hard for them to have a good hand for them to call you 3 streets with. And also, there's no flush draw, there's no straight draw, so you don't really have to worry about, with 3 aces, it's hard to get drawn out on. Like, your opponent can't have a flush draw or straight draw and make it with 1 card. So letting them see a free card is really, really low cost. And so what you do is you check your 3 of a kind with aces, and then you give your opponent an opportunity to bluff, and you just like giving your opponent opportunities to bluff with really strong hands should be part of your range. So like every time on the flop you're checking, you should have some amount of hands that are extremely strong, and if you construct your range in such a way, then it makes it really hard for your opponent to exploit you by like bluffing whenever you don't bet. Which if you bet with your top 20% of hands entirely and check everything else, for example, this is like kind of an absurd example, or even if you bet your top 20% of hands and then you mix in with that a number of bluffs, then your opponent knows every time you check, and you just check, and your opponent will know every time you check that you're super weak, and they can just exploit you by like over bluffing that spot, which is kind of what I was talking about with the delayed c-bet play pattern. Oh yeah, we wanted to see how much. Well, we'll pick up some stuff over here, which is kind of what I was saying with like weak players tend to bet their really good hands on the flop, and so on the turn, if they haven't bet, then you can bluff with any 2 cards versus those types of players because they aren't checking enough weak hands, and so you should have some hands that you check. Another example of where people really like to check is like, let's say the board is 2 jacks, a 10, and there's 2 suits, so there's a flush draw, and you have jack 10, you should actually probably play that jack 10 really passively. The reason being is that if you have a jack and a 10, it's hard for your opponent to have a made hand, and also you are not scared, you have a full house, so you're not scared of a flush that your opponent could have, nor are you afraid of a straight that your opponent can make, which is normally something you're afraid on jack 10. And so by checking that type of hand, you now have put yourself in a really good spot because your checking range is now a lot stronger and it has some good hands in it, so your opponent can't abuse you by just betting whenever you check. And at the same time, your checking range is not... Your checking range consists... The value hands consist of hands that you don't care if your opponent gets to see free cards with. Whereas, like, on the Jack-Jack-10 board, if you have just Ace-Jack, if you don't bet, you're letting your opponent see a free card, and they can make a straight or a flush, which will beat 3 of a kind on jacks. And that hand's really strong, so that's probably a good candidate to bet, right? To be in a betting portion of your range. So, but that's, like, something that weaker players do a lot, is they like just bet with the entirety of their top of their range and some bluffs, and then the bottom of their range that they continue with, they just check call, and so their the bottom of their range tends to be very condensed, and it just can't have any good hands in it, and so this is like a bit of a mistake. So do we want Pal? Yeah, because we need to repair our Pal thing. Where's our... There it is. Oh, we need polymer. We have enough refined ingots. Shoot. And we need money to get polymer. And we're gonna need that for another boss fight if we're gonna do it. Alright. We're gonna have to do some dungeons or something. Sounds like Dark Souls for real. So when's poker stream? I don't know if I'm going to stream poker again. I think that the interest is really low and that the space is also quite saturated. Because a lot of people get really good at poker and then like it's the margins aren't good enough. And so there's a lot of cats out there who are way better at poker and way better at explaining poker than I am. I suppose I could if I thought that there was enough interest in it, but you know, the videos I have of me playing poker, which are like the first videos I uploaded, basically have like no views, no traction, no nothing. Even though they're like the first videos, which I think your first videos, if someone searches for Necrode videos, they'll see the poker ones, right? But I don't think there's too much interest. Also, I probably like thinking about playing poker more than I like actually playing poker. Like, actually playing poker is stressful as hell. So I'd rather just do a stream where I like construct ranges, probably, than like actually play. Because poker, especially like my experience in playing poker is if I felt really or streaming playing poker is you'd like, to whatever extent, like when you make the wrong decision in terms of outcome, you like feel kind of dumb. It's like doubly so when people are watching. And the thing about poker is a lot of times you will make the correct decision and then it turns out bad. Like, in fact, like oftentimes making the correct decision will be wrong like 45% of the time, and that's how poker works. And so it's just a lot of like you with egg on your face. And then a lot of times you make the right decision and then you feel super smart, but I mean, I guess we could try and catch this guy. Pretty heavy on the ball investment, but it does give us more XP. I mean, 3 is not a lot of percents. At this point, we should just try and catch another Jet Dragon and then breed him. Probably. I guess we caught him anyways. 3% my ass. That ain't 3%. Got a lot of XP from that, though. Where's our way out? Is it just there? It's hard to see. Yeah, one thing I don't like about the hip lantern is it makes it hard to see far away. I feel like I wish I could turn it off and make it dark again. Just sometimes turn on the lights. Yeah, it seems like the interest is just you. Yeah, pretty much. I mean, like, if a lot of people wanted... it's like chess as well. Like, some people are super interested in seeing me play chess. If I do a chess stream, I get, like, no views. And chess is also really stressful. Like, Victoria 3 is not... Yeah, I mean... Also, like, I'm not trying to execute super hard on Victoria 3. I'm just trying to understand how to play the game correctly. Like, more so than actually executing. Right? Which, like, actually executing is involved, but, like, that's not... If I understand the game and then I misplay it, I'm kind of okay with that. So... But poker's like a game where it's like, yeah. Yeah. I don't think, I think if I would stream poker, I'd get about as much views as I get streaming Palworld. And I think I would, I think I enjoy playing Palworld more than I do. Well, I enjoy playing poker sometimes, but then I'd also have to get stressed out about like having a delay, playing with a delay, so that people don't snipe me. Or like having to think through having a delay. Like I think if I were to play poker, I'd almost like rather play it offline. I actually enjoy poker a lot. I'd just rather play it live. But it's like I don't know. Maybe I should try poker sometime. That was initially what I very first started streaming though. Was the poker. Let's get some cake. Our inventory isn't sorted because we died. Tragic. Yeah, I think maybe we want to fight that boss with the defense and offense pendant as well. And if that's kind of the case, then we're definitely going to need level 49. Ugh. Feels bad, man. So we might not even do either of the things we wanted to do this stream. We need to farm level 49. I'm not sure the best way for us to do it at this point. I mean, we'd have to go to a place where there isn't very many people. Or where we don't have all the catches for something. We do need to repair our freaking blaster cannon. So we need polymers. Lower level guys are going to be easier to catch. So we can catch 8 more of these guys for XP farming. Ah, but they only appear in caves. Okay. Vixie. We've only caught 7 and a bunch appear in here. So I guess we could go trying to capture some Vixies and going after bosses maybe in that area. This guy's weak sauce unless his shtick is to make steel for the war machine. The truth hurts. Oh, that's not the Frostallion we wanted. Oh, this would also be better with our beacon than with Frostallion, but let's maybe switch up your abilities a little. Do a lower damage one here. For if we maybe can try and not one-shot things to make them easier to catch. Something like this. You can ask a Vic 3 question, of course. Chess and poker tilt more than leaning. Yeah, yeah. Basically, that's like kind of my answer to some extent. Suppose we could catch this boss King Paka too. Actually, we almost certainly don't have all the King Pakas, so maybe that's going to be a good look for us. Yeah, anything goes during the Palworld streams, to be honest, because there's really not a lot of people here anyways. I'm not disappointing a bunch of Palworld enthusiasts when I answer a Vic 3 question. Like, whereas if I'm playing Vic 3, I'm not going to talk extensively about Palworld. Because I think the people who tune into the Palworld streams are hoping that I accidentally talk about Vic 3. Whereas the people who turn into Vic 3 streams have generally not much interest in Palworld. So... or something like that. Okay, so here's some Vixies. Now... and this is kind of... I mean, like, low-level grinding's kind of a grind. So we're just gonna throw balls at them, because I think that we one-shot them. Yeah, we do. Can you do a full agrarian only run? I might do an industry band run for some amount of time. I might do an Amish Paradise achievement run. Currently there is a poll going on Patreon for the next Patreon run. And one of the things that's performing quite well is Industry Band, which isn't Agrarian. Just to be clear though, Agrarian is like RP. It's just like bad. It's not like a stylistic thing. Or well, I guess that's maybe a little bit harsh, but... yeah, it's still alive. What is this, Matryoshka doll-looking pal? I don't even know which one you're referring to with that. Vixie, the one we're trying to catch? Or the one we're riding? Are you gonna continue the run with the economic mod? That's my plan. I think there's a little bit more to explore there. I think it's just, like, horribly balanced, though. But, like, some of those modifiers... getting a 100% construction throughput for kind of nothing is, like, a wild-ass modifier. So, like... yeah. Wow. We haven't killed the penguin in forever. Why is he not... okay, he is here. There we go. We got him. And we got the legendary feathered hairband schematic. Whatever that does. If only we could roll the legendary item drop on the Blazomid instead of the Pen King. It's just looking for Vixies. Because you get a ton of XP. How much do we need? 400,000? Man, that's a lot. We get like 21,000 or whatever from the Vixies, though. Well, that lift monk lives to... will live to see another day. Oh, the king something pal, the big one you caught? Yeah, that pal lets you carry more stuff. That's pretty nice. We're not using him anymore. We were using him a while back, though. Yay, 22,000 experience each. So we only have to catch like 40 mons like this. But like the Blazomid, which took us forever to kill, gave us like only 50k experience relative to doing this. So this is the faster way. The way of the... I think we've caught these guys. I suppose we maybe need to think about okay, so we could catch T-Fants as well. Oh, we don't have rush ores? Okay. We need one more rush ore. The rush ores appear around here too, so that'll be nice for us. Pretty sure we have them alpacas, but I suppose we could catch them just to see. We have enough Joltogs. And we do have enough alpacas. Sag. Whoa, this is so sad. I don't think we've really level grinded too much on stream. In the trailer, there was a pal with a giant machine gun. Is that one good? I think its stats are relatively good. I'm not sure how I feel about the machine gun as a move being good, but the Mamorest is going to give us... Oh, well, I thought he was going to give us superior pal oil. Maybe they have to be a certain level? We've definitely caught 10 of these. So... Don't quite have all that, but really close to not needing to pick those things up anymore. Get the truffle farm going, if that's a thing. Yeah. Oh, now we got the nighttime pops. Well, not pops, but mons. Yeah, this isn't worth our time. I mean, we could try Palladius and the Necronius again. I just think we're gonna, like, in order to be comfortable... Oh, I'm not sure if we've... No, wait, this is the settlement. Wait, is it? The one we normally go to? Doesn't look like it. It looks different. Oh no, it is the one. Wow, why does it look so much different? What? Am I turned around? Bro, this looks so much different. There's no shopkeeper. Oh, I gotta go down this way. Got it. Okay. Fair enough. Have I seen The Pig? 2021 Nicolas Cage movie? Catch a lot of board pals would give you that vibe. Wait, what? Feel catch? I haven't seen Pig. Also thought on Uncut Gems. Is that the show? I'm not sure what you mean by Uncut Gems. The Righteous Gemstones? Like in this game? Are there uncut gems? So that will give us some stats. Maybe we have to like construct a thing where we're using a ton of those. We can also power up our Frost Stallion because we have all these eggs. We could also, in the morning, try and fight Palladius in the other one, because it seems like it only reset when the day reset, and we weren't currently fighting it. And so if that's how that works... maybe we have a full day of being able to re-aggro it. It's a 2019 movie showing a story of a gambling addict who owns a jewelry store. It's so good. Oh, is this the one with, not Matt Damon. I forget the name of the actor. Mark Wahlberg. I don't like Mark Wahlberg very much. It's a thing to watch for all poker players, degenerate gamblers. I don't watch too many movies. A gambling addict who owns a jewelry store. If it's the Mark Wahlberg thing, I tend not to watch Mark Wahlberg stuff very much. I have a little bit of a problem with the way he beat a man blind because he was the wrong race. Not that I'm categorically opposed, and I do think like Mark Wahlberg is reformed, generally speaking, and that people should be given an opportunity to change and like stuff like that, but like he also beat a man blind, so there's that. Just generally not a nice thing to do, I would say. We have a little bit of coal here. I mean, we could do some caves. Maybe that's what we're supposed to do. Just do some caves. Feels bad, man. Do some caves, get some levels, maybe find the frost guys. Adam Sandler. I have not seen the Adam Sandler movie. I know there's a Mark Wahlberg movie. Ooh, let's pick up our Lylene. There's a Mark Wahlberg movie where he's like a degenerate gambler. I've seen clips from it. Also, a lot of our pals are about to level here, too. I mean, maybe that would be an important breakpoint. I mean, if we have attack pendants and defense pendants, maybe we could even fight Palladius in the other one. That seemed like a little bit too much, though. Yeah. Let's put JK in the title, because I don't think we're finishing it. Like, I don't really get how Adam Sandler starred in so many garbage movies and just out of the blue he comes up with Uncut Gems, which is a masterpiece. Adam Sandler seems like the type who doesn't... he does kind of what he wants to do, and it seems like what he wants to do is shitty movies. Because I think he's the producer of a lot of his movies. And, like, a lot of his movies are just kind of, like... him hanging out with his friends. Which, like, power to him. But, like, a lot of the later movies just get that kind of vibe overall. I don't think we've caught enough of these guys. So... What do the... Oh, we have captured enough of them. Damn. What do the Guy Ferrari shirts do? It raises heat resistance. It's not going to be very useful for us right now. But we need it when we're, like, in the volcano land. Otherwise, we just we degen health otherwise, if we don't have sufficient resistance. Oop, these guys do drop the high-quality pallet oil, which is a sticking point for us right now. For repairing our GAT. Give us that pallet oil. One of the reasons we kind of wanted to farm through here. There's another one. I'm gonna wait for our C to recharge and see. Him hanging out with his friends and getting the guy from the Godfather dance for Dunkin' Donuts. Yeah. Like, I'm like all for it. He also seems like a really nice guy too. Or down to earth maybe is better. Oh, maybe we're supposed to try and catch those things. Oh well. So there's supposed to be a thing, a cave entrance here. Is it down there? That feels so unbelievably satisfying. It gives us a decent chunk of XP too. Where is this cave entrance, man? Okay, is this it? But it's closed off right now? Yeah, I think it might be just closed off right now. Okay, where's the other one? Further north there. Maybe this will be the final stream though, because I don't know. I want to complete this game because I want to complete it, but like I'm not having as much fun playing as I was before, and now it's just like wanting to finish through, follow through on the game type of feel. Just because we're like right at the cusp, we need to catch 2 more Pokemon for a complete dex. And 1 final boss remaining. Have I seen Kanye West talk with Alex Jones? I mean, I've seen clips of it. I don't really value what either of those guys have to say. Although, interesting, like, so Kanye West, like, makes the argument, like, slaves choose to be slaves, because if they didn't want to be slaves, they could just, like, kill themselves or unalive themselves. And this is actually an argument that Aristotle makes, which is like interesting to me. Aristotle basically makes the same argument. I think it's wrong. I think that like being enslaved is not a choice. But it's like it's wild to see someone who's like definitely have a lot more respect for what Aristotle has to say than Kanye. Not that particular piece of Aristotle though. Greeks were also like an entirely different vibe about things. Like they looked at moral transgressions in a much different way than we do. Like for us, moral transgressions are doing the wrong behavior. And for like the ancient Greeks, it was like not embodying excellence. It was like to be immoral was to be weak and not engaged in the correct like practice. Whereas like now to be immoral is to do the wrong thing. Like, and so it's like, it shakes out to be a lot different. Bro, how come we can't find any of these cave entrances? Okay, there was one. Yes, but it was really funny. Yeah, that's fair. Someone wanted me to watch the Putin interview, and to be fair, I did kind of like be like, okay, let's check this out. And then I saw it was 12 hours long. I was like, Jesus. And apparently, the first hour is just Putin talking about a revisionist like Russian history. In response to the question, so why'd you invade Ukraine? It's like, I don't think, by the sounds of it, because to be fair, I haven't watched it, Tucker Carlson was not prepared for what he was about to get. Alright, we're gonna get a decent amount of XP clearing this out, and maybe roll a good item at the end that could help us out. So... I know we haven't caught a ton of these, so we could catch the Lunaris. We don't accidentally destroy it. Okay. Yeah, we read Plato's Republic and got 4 aneurysms reading how they circle jerk a totalitarian state. It's quite fun reading them arguing though. Yeah. I do think... What the hell? Okay. Yeah, there are some problems with democracy, but generally speaking, so the like, if I recall correctly, like the hypothetical like type of leader that would be ideal, that would not be corrupt, like I might agree that with Plato from like a hypothetical sense, but not a practical sense, which is if you had leaders that didn't actually want to rule, you know, and were entirely interested in the best, what was best for the people, then being authoritarian would not necessarily be that bad. But like, that's not how leaders are, as a matter of practice. So you're wanting. But if leaders were that way, like, things would be different. But they're not, so it doesn't matter. Like, democracy is good because it has checks and balances, not because the majority always reaches the appropriate decision, because they often make mistakes. The real fascists versus the virgin grifter fascists. I assume you're talking about Putin vis-a-vis Tucker. I don't think we're gonna catch this, even though we would get... Yeah, I just think we have a too low a catch rate. I mean, let's just say we get lucky, right? We just luck sack it up, yeah. Cool guys walk away from explosions, let's just see our way to the end of the dungeon. Alright, so that's 40k XP for us, so we're kind of close to leveling up. Oh, that's nice, we got a +2 on this. So I think that makes it so we would only ever need one of these. What else do we get? Heat-resistant PAL metal armor. I mean, that's maybe decent enough to build, so maybe we don't sell that. Nice, I suppose. Not terrible pickups, not exactly what we were looking for though. And continuing your amazing media takes, I should watch The Legend of the Galactic Heroes. It heavily exposes flawed democracy versus perfect autocracy dichotomy. It's called Galactic Heroes. Maybe I'll check that out. Yeah, let's write that down. There aren't too many, like, in contemporary Western media, there's really not too many authoritarian apologists, which is not exactly something that I would have a problem with there being not too many of them, but... Like, there are, like, there's a significant problem with democracy when you have a not very intelligent electorate. But to some extent, it like it's the best or it's the worst form of government except for every other one we've tried, type of thing. But when people act like there's zero problems, it's just like, no, zero's a bit strong. Maybe we also just need to prep food that's gonna give us offense and defense for like this boss battle and actually like use everything, and then also we can juice up the Frost Stallion and stuff. We can sell this mercenary as well. We'll also look to buy contraband, I think. We're not going to need the Mao or the Vixies. Or the King Paka for that matter. Workslave might be useful though. I really don't have a lot of money. Yeah. I have to look up quotes one of these days of Kanye. Not because I think he's like full of wisdom, but some of the quotes are just like wild. Like my biggest regret is I'll never get to see myself perform live. It's just like, what a monstrous quote. Certified banger. Gonna be up above? Where is this? Oh, there it is to the right. Legend of Galactic Heroes is an old anime. Not sure how I feel about those. Oh, I generally don't. I'm not super... Well, so the first thing is, and this is the biggest thing, is I watch very little TV. And so... Anime also tends to be super long, which wouldn't categorically rule it out, but I tend to just... It's not that I hate anime, it's that I just don't like anime. Like, I think some people are, like, super, like, let's say anal about disliking anime, but I just, like, don't enjoy it too much. I mean, I guess there's a lot of anime, well, there's, I don't know, I like Dragon Ball Z, or I liked it when I was a kid. There's plenty of anime I did, like, I guess I just don't watch it, and I'm, like, not... If I were to see an ad for anime, it wouldn't, like, really move the needle for me too much as well. Like, I don't see anime and I'm like, oh, I really need to watch that. Whereas, like, yeah, my watch list is very, very short. I'll watch, like, the next season of The Boys when it comes out, Generally, I like things that are subversive and a little bit thought-provoking, or like stuff that's super brainless. So I watch like almost all Marvel stuff, and that's like kind of all I watch, I guess would be. And then I watch like The Boys, and then like some stuff that's a little bit more intellectual maybe. Like I really liked Westworld. I've watched Westworld a few times. I can't even remember the last show I watched though. Like an entire season of. The last movie I saw, like going out of my way to see, rather than just like kind of seeing because it's just what happened to be on, I think was Oppenheimer. And I went to see that with my family more so than... But like, I watch parts of movies, I guess, when I'm eating. Okay, cool. We got through this one really quick. This guy's gonna be pretty low level, though. Hopefully this kills out the chaff. Got most of it. I forgot it empowers our attacks with ice. That was 10k. It's not as much experience as we'd like. Pendant of Diligence +1, we'd probably sell that. Just trying to do our thing. Continuing the democracy autocracy topic. More heads are always better than one. Humans work best as a collective rather than relying on a guy to do one thing. Often that is true, but it's not always the case. There's a lot of ways like that group bias can get introduced. And also, more heads being better than one requires that people know some amount about whatever it is, you know, the thing. And if you know like actual literal nothing about a concept, like it's not more useful to have more people. It's my recollection of the data. I read a book on this though. It's on my book reviews channel. Like I have no recollection of the name, but the collective's not always better. It's just often better. But like, if you had collective rule, I don't know why we caught that guy instead of just killing him. You know, there's a lot of places that are, you have tyranny of the majority if you have collective rule, or you can. So like, yeah, discrimination could be particularly acute if you ruled by direct democracy. You think the anime is 110 in total episodes? But trust me, it's worth it. It's one of the top rated animes and doesn't use the annoying tropes associated with the medium. Oh, that's so much time though. 110 episodes. It's like, I could read 10 books instead. Not that that's like necessarily the direct trade-off, but... We don't even need the medical supplies. I don't know why we're doing this over medical supplies. We super don't need them. Do want the Pal Souls though. I mean, that's another thing we could do is we can empower our guys. Oh, we could have just put that in our food slot, actually. Maybe we could try the boss. No, we can't try the boss again. We have to... One of the points was we were trying to get money. So we could buy pal oil. So we could repair our gun. Big oof. It's not doing the things. We have to log out and log back in to do that. We might be... Maybe it's just better to grind level 50 off stream, but... It's a lot of polymer. Inventory is full. Just looking for a little bit of better skills. I watched you play so many Vicky 3 that it seems strange to watch me play something else. Yeah, not very general is the Generalist gaming. We do have a Frostallion born with Swift, which is kind of one of the things we were looking for. So we wanted to introduce that into our Frostallion breeding, but I think we're about ready to wrap up the episode here. I think we will put in our Frostallion that has Swift towards the end of the thing, though, so we know where to find them. Because I think we're looking to get Swift, Legend, Ice Emperor, Musclehead. And so to that end, I guess there's going to be some Frostallions over here. Yep, bunch of Frostallions. But we would just need to merge this Swift one with this female to hopefully make one with Swift, Legend, Ice Emperor. I think we're just going to clear out I will send the queue. We're going to clear out chat and then we're going to call it. A little bit of a bummer, but I don't think we're like too close to striking distance. Also, I think the entire Palworld streaming's maybe been a bit of an indulgence and maybe I should swatch back to Victoria 3. Because overall the interest seems relatively low. That's kind of just what I'm thinking through. The schooling system doesn't do nearly enough to make the population educated enough to make them effective political agents that would have the ability to call out bad politicians. Yeah, one of the problems with this right now, though, is the teachers are getting increasingly less leeway in terms of what they can teach in Gov classes. I have a friend who teaches Gov at the high school level. And he has to be very careful to not appear biased. And some positions, in my opinion, have been... It's like less a matter of bias and more a matter of like one side holds a position that's like just not like accurate in some ways, in some things, and like It's not a matter of sides, if that's the case, right? Or at least on some cases of things, and so it's like, it's a little bit difficult. They do teach Gov in school. I think that they should teach statistics, though. Instead of, like, math higher than Algebra 2. Like, instead of Calc, you should have to take statistics, and I think you should have to take public speaking. But also, like, a lot of it is people are just super tribal, and they are unwilling to go, at this point, they're unwilling to go against their tribe. Like, categorically speaking, if we're thinking about politics in the U.S., like, Democrats' unwillingness to vote for Republicans and Republicans' unwillingness to vote for Democrats is a significant problem, because it means you can just throw up two bad candidates from each side, and people do not, they just vote lockstep, and for the most part, what we get now is just corporate hacks. Trump is a little bit of a deviation, because I don't think he's, like, a corporate hack. I think he's a different type of hack, but, like, you're getting people, yeah, if you're more willing to vote for the other side, whatever that, like, is, then they have to be more caring about the issues rather than partisan hackery. You could read 10 books in the time you could watch the Legends of the Galactic Heroes, but you wouldn't have such a banger time. How dare you? I might really enjoy those books. No, I mean, reading books is kind of a little bit of a chore, because I read only nonfiction. Not being biased in the political class, how exactly is that possible? Well, so not being biased, I think it's somewhat possible to be non-biased, kind of. It's a little bit rough, in the context of, like, the United States. So, like, if you're teaching in the United States, you're obviously going to be biased towards a Western standpoint, but within that Western standpoint, you can maybe try and be not biased, but it's really rough, and, like, parents are also really uppity, on both sides, and so, being a teacher is really freaking hard right now, and it doesn't pay that well, so, like, I don't know exactly what you're supposed to do. Do you politicize politics class? 100% on a rhetoric class? Dude, rhetoric gets a bad rap. It's, every time I would not mind a rhetoric class. I mean, I did say public speaking. People need to learn how to communicate ideas clearly and effectively, and also try and understand what other people are saying. Like, inability to understand what other people are saying is a significant problem. I guess maybe we'll slot these guys in and then call it, though. But, yeah, the late night streams just turn into politics streams. It's perhaps a bit of a problem. I think I'm going to end up alienating a very non-zero amount of people talking about politics, but... We are about to have a Ukraine charity stream, which is definitely going to upset some people. But, I view that as being less political than, like, US politics. In the sense that I think that what's going on there is just, like, terrible if you have certain value set. And it's, like, not, it's, like, more clear. I think. You're in for a world where did we just get exactly what we wanted? We did just get exactly what we wanted. Hell yeah. We just gotta find them now. Oh no, it's serious. Not what we want. I think we'll sort them out now. Just have a look, but we can upgrade a Frost Stallion a lot. Also, there are IVs, but we're not going to be that anal about stuff. I mean, it'd probably be best to just power up what we have, to be honest. Just fully power up this Frost Stallion with all the Frost Stallions we've made. Even though it doesn't have the optimal stuff, just to finish the game. Have I thought of doing a Ukraine stream playing as Hoey 4 and Millennium Dawn as Ukraine? I mean, I don't play much Hoey 4. If I wanted to do, I want to do a charity stream. If I'm going to do a charity stream, I'm not going to do anything other than Victoria 3. Because if I stream Hoey, I'll get like 15 viewers or 20 viewers. Whereas if I stream Vicky, I can get over 100. And so if I'm doing a charity stream, I'd much rather just stream whatever is going to get the most views. Like, I would not do a Palworld charity stream. Shout out to the two of you in chat. It would just not be something if the point is to raise money, you like have to do it. Like, me playing Palworld is kind of an indulgence. Like, I probably shouldn't be playing as much Palworld because it's not going to make me any. Like, I have to care about, like, the revenue I generate while playing games, which kind of, like, to some degree sucks the fun out of games, in a way, but, or it doesn't suck the fun out of games, that's an exaggeration, but it, like, it makes it so you're approaching the game from a perspective that is not 100% fun-oriented. Like, the reason I have, like, close to 2,000 Victoria 3 hours is not because I would have played close to 2,000 hours of Victoria 3 without producing content on it, it's because I've gained traction in content production for Victoria 3, so that's what I'm going to continue doing. Not to say I wouldn't play any Victoria 3, it just wouldn't be like this amount. Yeah, bigger audience, more cash, exactly. It's not, like, also, well, I'm not, for the charity stream, I'm not going to care about being on the nose. I'm going to make a very strong argument that Putin is a horrible person. The thing about Putin is, like, even if you were thinking that the authoritarianism and the imperialism and all that were okay, like, even if that was the position, Putin's not even helping Russia from that perspective. In that the state has effectively been plundered by his billionaires. And if you really cared for the good of Russia, like the nation itself, then you don't plunder it. And so I think there's not a single, like maybe I'm just too much of a humanist here, and not enough of like a nationalist or something like this. And that there's like some value set where like Putin's values make sense or something like this, but I don't think that's the case. I think even if you're just thinking of it from the perspective of just the good of Russia, from the perspective of, you know, Putin's orientation, which is like the restoration of the Soviet Union, I think even if that's the case, like all he's done to enrich himself still disqualifies him as like someone to examine as being legitimate. In the sense that there's an argument to be made that he's like in some sort of right, moral or otherwise. Maybe I should try getting a shout out from Dylan Burns. He's a big sort of reporter from Ukraine. Bro went there to do journalism. I have to imagine that I am a small fry. And I don't want to bother. I don't want to bother people trying to get like a shout out or whatever. I don't know. I don't have anything to offer Dylan Burns really. I do have to pick which charity to support though, which is a little bit tough. Ukraine actually scores really low on anti-corruption or non-corruption metrics. Like, it's one of the more corrupt countries in the world, or at least it was going into the conflict. I guess I don't know how the conflict might have shaped that. So you have to be a little bit leery when sending money there. And so I really wish I was better at evaluating which charity is going to be best. But yeah. Anyways, that's kind of what's going on. That's going to be on the 24th, if anyone was interested. I think I already have it scheduled. I think I'm going to stream Victoria 3 for 12 hours, and then probably for another 2 or 3.5 hours do just chatting afterwards is kind of going to be the plan. For the people who really want to like continue the discussion regarding Ukraine. I offer support via charity. Yeah, but I don't know how much money I'm going to raise. Last year we raised like 200 bucks, but I was like non-existent last year. So, I don't know. I'm probably going to set the target at like $224, because $224 is when Ukraine was invaded. I suppose I should do it $242, because the way Ukraine does dates, it would be 24/2. So maybe that makes a bit more sense. Not be as America-centric in the amount of money. I imagine we'll get at least that. I hope we get at least that. It's gonna hurt to stream for like 16 hours straight and not get that much. The final Palworld stream, maybe it wasn't very successful. We tried the final boss, and couldn't do it. Got killed, and then we also tried catching Palladius and Necronius, and then we got him down to like 1/3 life, and then reset him, and 2 of our mons were dead, so we just went back. Or their life reset when we reset them. And then kind of came to the conclusion that, hey, we're probably going to need some more levels, and then we spent the like remaining time kind of going for levels, but I think we're wrapping it up now. To be honest, this might be the last Palworld stream though. We're so close to the finish line, it just feels bad, but also like I should be focused on Victoria 3, I think. I think that's what everyone wants. Even the people who are coming out for the Palworld streams, so and maybe that's not the case, but I think it, for the most part, probably is. Based on just looking at numbers. I suppose there could be like a group that's like really into the Palworld stuff. I think what we need is actually to make food specifically as well, but we need to fix this up before we can do any of that, so. Or we need to just like actually do the boss where the way I think you're supposed to, which is with a friend. If we fought him with a friend, it'd be super easy. Instead of trying a solo bolo. We could also just turn down the difficulty and make it super easy. And then just finish out the game, just to like finish out the Paldeck, because we're at 133 out of 135. Just missing these 2 and just missing the last tower. I'm sorry, Rob Deflob. The people want Victoria. I should try outreach. I mean, worst that can happen, you get shot down. No, that's not the worst that could happen. The worst that can happen is I waste this guy's time. Right? This guy's who's doing good and productive work. He reads my message, he thinks there's something going on, and then there's really not something going on, and he takes the time to like check out what I'm doing, and then my operation's really not that big. You know what I mean? But maybe I'm too worried about that type of thing. That's possible. You came to this channel because you didn't unlock Vicky 3, now I just like watching you play Palworld, something fresh. That's fair. I think the Palworld viewers are pretty small, just generally speaking, in terms of how many there are of you guys. And I think most people just want to see me streaming Victoria 3 more. I waste 1 second of his time? Yeah. No, I agree it's probably not a lot. It's more if he takes the time to, like, check out something and then he makes the evaluation that it's not worth his time. But, like, to what extent are we going to collab? Right? I'm going to, on the day that's, like, probably the most important for him, which is the anniversary of the invasion, I'm going to hit him up and do what exactly? like ask for a shout out for my charity stream, that's like, I have a hard time imagining the victory-oriented Ukraine charity stream is like the big boy one. Any 2% luck today? We did get 2% luck on catching a Blazonet, I think, but it wasn't important luck. We did not roll any 2% important luck. I mean, no, we're not gonna try Palladius and Necronius again. I think we just need more levels or better gear. I don't know. Anyways, I think we're gonna log off, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed. A little bit of a short one. Couldn't quite get it going as much as we wanted to. Yep. Do the YouTube algo thing if you would like, or not if you would not like. And other than that, have a good one. Bye-bye now.